Hello, welcome to ProStream Premium Streaming Services brief tutorial video on how to use your Sword and Sword Plus boxes effectively. So starting out, when our TV starts, we're going to come to this screen. This is called our home screen. From here you can access YouTube, or we would go to the TV on air box. You can go to Netflix if you like and add your own account information, but there is no need as everything is already in the TV on air section. YouTube works quite quickly. When you select it, it comes right up and you're able to use that. Hitting the back button, which is directly above the house on the right side of the remote, right next to the direction pad around the OK button. There's a little square with an arrow going out of it. That will be your back button. You will use that button quite a bit. So pressing the back button takes us back to the home screen. And now we're going to select TV on air. This will take us to live TV and video on demand. Selecting that, we are now on live TV. So we see CTV Windsor, CTV Regina. I'm going to open a guide by pressing the OK button in the center of the remote. That opens up a basic guide. We can see that I have Young Sheldon playing on CTV Regina and that Big Bang Theory will be next. If I would like to open up more and use this guide more effectively, I will use my direction pad in the center of the remote, the 4 arrows around the OK button, and I will press to the right, opening up my guide. So we can see that there's a box on the middle of the screen underneath the 22 that says live, and it shows Young Sheldon. That's what's playing right now. If I highlight that by pressing my direction pad to the right, I can go back, and any of the shows that have the little red arrow around it, so you can see in the middle of the screen there's a little red arrow around a clock, that indicates that can be replayed. This is called the replay function, and most channels have this. So if I missed the news, or if I wanted to watch The View, I can select it, select OK, and The View will start to play. I can fast forward and rewind through the commercials using the direction pad in the middle of the remote that are around the OK button. So pressing to the right will fast forward, and pressing to the left will rewind. To get out of this, you need to hit the back button, which is the button above the little house, and it will ask you if you want to go back to live TV. You will select OK, and you are going back to live TV now. So this is what's playing live, Young Sheldon. You have another guide if you press the guide button, which is on the left corner above the direction pads, directly below, 2 buttons below the 7. It says guide on the button. When you press it, a more of a satellite style TV guide opens up. If you press the button again, this is the guide button, you can access the replay function again. Now, when we're on the replay function, you'll notice on the left side that there are dates. So today is the 8th of December. If you go back to the 7th of December and select it, you can watch shows that were playing on the 7th. So if you missed Seinfeld on the 7th, you can go back and watch that. You can go back 2 to 3 days on this and watch shows and have the ability to fast forward through commercials. However, everything is also saved to the video on demand the next day. So if you were going to watch it from the 7th, you might as well watch it in video on demand because there'll be no commercials. To get out of this, we're going to hit the back button, and that gets us back to the full screen. If I open up the guide again and press the OK button, and then I press the direction pad to the right, it brings open the full guide again. Now you can see on the bottom there's 2 colored markers on the screen. One says remind and one says record. Record is red, remind is blue. Those correlate with the colored buttons on the bottom of the remote, and those change depending on what's on the screen. So if I wanted to record Big Bang Theory, I would highlight it, and then if press the red button, we'll bring up the record menu. So right now, save is currently highlighted. If I move up, end time, start time is highlighted, duration is now highlighted, date, and then repeat. So if I only want to repeat this recording once, it'll only record it once. If I press to the right, it'll be a weekly recording. If I press to the right again, a monthly recording, so it'll only record once a month. If I press to the right again, it'll record once a year. Pressing to the right again brings me back to one-time recording. So you're just going in a loop. If I want it to record a little longer, say it's a football game and it might go into overtime, or a hockey game, I can add 10 minutes at a time to the recording and it'll record that for me. Once I have all my settings set, I can go down, highlight save, press OK, and it will save. I'm going to go to cancel because I have no interest in recording this television show at the moment. I'm going to hit my back button, bring me back to a full open screen again. Pressing the OK button and opening up the guide again, you can see that there's a heart where it says CTV Regina. That puts it into your favorites, and that can be achieved by using, there's a heart on the bottom left of the remote, the very bottom left button, and when you press it, the heart will appear or disappear. So I'm adding it right now and I'm removing it. So if I add it again, it is now in my favorites. To find your favorites, you have two ways to get there. So right now I have the guide open. So if I use the direction pad and I press to the left, it'll open up my group menu. From here, I can refine my channels into smaller packages so I don't have to go through the 3,700 channels that we have. So going down to my favorites will highlight and open up my favorites channels. History will also highlight all of the channels you have been watching. Or you can go down and select if I only want the English US channels, or if I want just premium movie channels, and it'll show just the movie channels. So if I select English premium movies, now I'm only dealing with about 300 channels of movies, and it's just the movie channels. So if I go up, I can see Sky Cinema and Stars, etc. You'll get into Crave and HBO. To get out of this, I hit the back button, and I'm watching full screen again. If I open the guide, I'm still in English Premium Movies, and that's the only thing that will show up in the guide until I go back to the group menu and change that. So I get to the group menu by pressing left on my direction pad, and then I go up to all, and now you can see at the top that we have 3,704 channels again. So that's how you refine your channels, and that's also how you use the replay function. You can use either guide, the black guide, or hitting the back button to close this. You can hit the guide button and open up the guide. So feel free to use whichever one you're more comfortable with. They both have their downfalls and their advantages. I'm going to use the back button to get out of this. And now we have video on demand. So at the bottom of the remote, you have a red, green, yellow, and blue buttons. Red is live TV, and the next button to it, green, will be video on demand. So pressing the green button brings us to video on demand. And you can see at the top, it says all 54,952 titles. So that's how many titles of TV shows and movies we have available for you to watch. Right now, under all, you're getting all of them. So again, you can use the group menu to refine it. So pressing to the left until the group menu opens, and going down, I can select just TV shows. So this is where everything will be. It doesn't matter if it's from Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime. If it's one of their shows, it will be in here. For instance, I can see Squid Game on the bottom right of the screen right now. So if I go over to Squid Game and select it, this is a show that's on Netflix. Everything from Netflix, Prime, Hulu, Amazon, it doesn't matter who it's from, it's all here. You just need to search for it. So you can see that we have play, select episode. You can make this a favorite. You can lock it if you like, or you can watch the trailer on YouTube to see what it's about. So if I go to select episode, you can see that there's seasons on the left. You can scroll up and down through all of the seasons. It only lists 4 at a time, but if there's 20 seasons, they will be below. And on the right, you select your episode. So if I move to the right, I can select the episode I'm watching, and it will start to play immediately. So if I'm watching episode 9 and I select it, it'll start to play episode 9. Again, you can fast forward and rewind using a direction pad by pressing to the right or the left. So to the right, we'll fast forward 10 seconds at a time, and to the left. Or you can hold it down and it'll go faster. Hitting the back button will take me back to the lists. And if I hit the back button again, now I'm going to get back to the title. And then one more time will take me back to the search. Scrolling up and down, you'll find all the different shows. It can be a lot to sift through. You also have the search function. So to search, on the bottom of the right of the remote, there is a little magnifying looking glass type button. When you press that, the keyboard opens up, and using the direction pad on the remote, if you move up to the microphone, you can use the voice search. So if I say Amazing Race, it will bring up Amazing Race. So we have Amazing Race Canada, Amazing Race US, and the original Amazing Race. So if we select the original Amazing Race, it will ask us to select an episode. When we select the episode, you can see that we have seasons on the left. So I can scroll up and down through all the seasons. We want to go to season 35, which is the most current season. And when I press to the right, we can see that episode 10 was the last season to play. So episode 11 will be coming soon. And that is how you access your video on demand. We're going to hit the back button again, directly above the house, and that'll take us back. And one more time will bring us back to the lists, and one more time brings us back to here. Again, moving to the left and opening up your group menu, you can refine what you're watching. So latest movies, English latest movies are movies from 2018 and forward. English old movies are old collection are movies from 2018 and back, as far as in like 1902, documentaries, kids movies, etc. All self-explanatory. So if we go to English latest movies, we can see there are movies in here that are still in the theater. So for instance, right here, Killers of the Flower Moon is a movie that's still in the theater. It's a very good copy of the movie. I'm just going to fast forward so you can see the quality. And this is a movie from Apple, so I guess it's there you go. Not only in the theaters, but also an Apple movie. And a great version of it. So pressing the back button to get back out of this, back to the menu, you can see on the bottom left corner, Silent Night. I'm going to highlight it. It says pre-DVD, and so does Eileen. So these are movies that are currently in the theater, and they have had what we would call a cam rip they used to do back in the days. So if we select that, you'll see that not always the best version. Yeah, not the greatest version. Some of them are okay, some of them aren't. They update as soon as a better version is available. You will be able to watch it. Pressing the back button to get out of this. Do I want to go back to the list? Okay. So here we go again. There's more movies that are either Amazon and or Prime or Apple. They're all in here, including Corner Office and stuff like this. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. If it's a movie from another streaming source, again, i.e. Apple or Amazon, Prime, Paramount, it will be in here. If it's a TV series from them, it will be under TV series. So we press to the left, open the group menu, and open TV shows. And now we're in the TV shows. So anything with a series that has episodes, it will be considered a TV show, and it'll be in here. And again, anything from any of the other streaming services, be it Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, they will all be in here. Pressing to the left and opening the group menu, you can search through any of them individually, or you can search through all. Searching is important that you are accurate in your searching. So for instance, I had a client ask that they wanted to find a show called The Maid, which was on Netflix, and they could not find it. After doing some research, I learned the show was just simply called Maid. So when I searched up just Maid, it came up. So a lot of it has to do with the way you search things, and it could be placement as well. So for instance, the Johnny Depp version of Alice in Wonderland is an adult movie, but you can only find it in the kids section. So if you search all, it will come up. But if you search English Old Collection or English New Collection, it won't come up. So searching can be temperamental. Most of the times it's very good and very accurate, but there are some small anomalies, such as the ones described, that can happen. Aside from that, the voice remote is very handy for finding things, as well as finding things in live TV. So we've demonstrated it here on video on demand, so we'll do it one more time. I'm going to press the little bottom right button on the remote. It looks like a magnifying glass, the very bottom right button, and it brings up a keyboard. If I highlight the microphone at the top of the keyboard that's on the screen by using my direction pad in the remote, and then pressing the OK button, abracadabra. So if it says listening, it has heard me. So now it's searched for anything called abracadabra in all of our titles, and it's found two. One is the Steve Miller Band from the old collection, and one is Scooby-Doo, probably from the kids collection. So that's how searching in video on demand works. I'm going to press the back button to get out of this, and then now I'm going to go back to live TV, and I get there by pressing the red button on the remote. You can see on the bottom of the screen it shows live TV is red, group green, blue sort. Again, it always shows you when they change, and they do change depending on what's going on the screen. So I'm going to hit the red button to go back to live TV. And now to use the group menu on the live TV, if I want to search, again using the magnifying glass at the bottom right of the remote, if I press that, the search will come up. And now if I go to the microphone and search, if I want to find a channel, so say I'm looking for global. So now you can see all of the globals have popped up. So where it says live TV is highlighted white, if I go down, it highlights that station. Now if I press to the right, you can see all of the different global stations that are available. And if I select, say, Global Maritimes, and I press the OK button, it'll go to that channel. So now we are on Global Maritimes, which is the Drew Barrymore Show. I guess that is the basic function for the live TV and the video on demand. You also have you also have YouTube. So there's a button on the remote that will take you directly to YouTube, or you can get there by pressing the home button on the remote. When you press the home button, it'll take you back to the home screen, and from here you can access YouTube if you like. There's also a settings down here, so if you want to poke around in the settings, feel free. This is where you select to highlight for setting up your network. And then if you go to your connections, and when you select this, where it says portal, you can see it says expiry date, so you'll know when your account is going to expire. To get out of this, you'll hit the back button again, which is right above the little house on the remote, and you are backed out of that again. So that is live TV and video on demand in a nutshell. We'll make a more detailed video about using more advanced features. That video will be coming out soon.